Find something else to be quiet. But unit 7, lesson 9, number 3, rewrite each equation in factored form and solve using the zero product property. So, factored form means that you should have something that looks like this, whatever variable they use, plus, minus, whatever number makes it work. But they don't want you just to give factored form, they also want you to solve it, meaning tell me the value that makes it true. Okay, so here's the first one. I'm gonna factor it first. If I'm using the diamond method, what needs to go on top?
The,
Not the value.
I didn't learn this. That's how we did it.
Oh, well, whatever, I mean, this is how I set it up, this is how I'll be teaching you. You just need two numbers that multiply to this number and add to this number. So I guess however you organize it, as long as you know, this is how I teach everyone, multiply to the top, add to the bottom. So what numbers multiply to 6 but add to -7?
What?
What numbers multiply to 6 but add to -7? And then if it adds to -7, then they both need to be negative. Now it multiplies to a positive, adds to a negative. So far, this is my factored form, but you're not done there. It wants a solution. So this is set equal to 0. That means that for each parentheses, like that we're multiplying together, you need to figure out what the variable has to be to make this one 0. Because if I have two things multiplied together and it gives me 0, one of those things must be 0. So, let's see, it's gonna try to squeeze it in, but I don't think I have the room. You set each factor equal to 0, solve them separately. What minus 6 equals 0? Anyone? 6, good. What minus 1 gives me 0? So then it shouldn't matter the order, but 6 and 1 are your answers. So it's different than you just doing your diamond method and calling it a day. Your solutions is like, what does each parentheses have to be to make it 0? Make sense? Any questions? It's two things we've learned separately, now we're putting them together. Do you guys want to try the other ones, or do you need help with like another one on this one? Yeah, whoever.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so then let's try this one. You have to factor it first. If I set up my diamond, I want to know what multiplies to 81 and adds to 18.
Oh. 9.
Okay. So I get x plus 9 for my factor form, x plus 9 equals 0. I need to set each factor equal to 0 and solve them separately. It just so happens that they're the exact same parentheses, so I should only have one solution for this one. What plus 9 gives me 0? So that one, the answer is -9. Okay, this one down here. So -60 on top, +7 on the bottom. We're looking for two numbers that multiply to -60, add to 7.
12 and 5. Which -12 times 5.
-12 and, oops, what? -12, +5, you said?
Yeah, it's a green.
Does that add to a positive?
If you have -12 and +5, which is -60. I know, but you need it to add to 7, so. Oh, you need -7. Well, your 5 would not be 2.
Okay, so yes, 5 would have to be negative, 12 would have to be positive if it adds to a positive. So it has to work for the whole situation. Does that make sense? Okay. Once you find it, to work for the entire diamond, you write your factor form based on that. I know they're using U values X's. And then now to find the solutions, the values for the variables that make this true. You have to set each factor equal to 0 and solve them separately. What plus 12 gives me 0? And what minus 5 gives me 0? Okay, so then your answers are 5 and negative 12. I'm gonna check the key, make sure the key is right. Okay, the key is right, so. Questions on this one? Questions on other things?
Doesn't have.
All right, any practice, any coloring activity problem?
Wait, actually, can you do number 6?
Today's practice? Okay.
Let's hear.
So my given problem is in what form? Standard, my answers are in what form? So you have two options. You could multiply all your answers and see which one matches your standard, which is like a unit 6 skill. You did this in unit 6. Or since I taught you now how to go from this to that, you can factor. For this, I need two numbers that multiply to 12 and add to -7. There's only a few numbers that multiply to 12. So the problem solved, you try like just going down the list, like 1 times something gives me 12. 2 times something gives me 12. 3 times something gives me 12. 4, I'm already now overlapping, so these were my possible combinations. Okay, perfect. Now, when you write it in factor form, it should look like this. Like your factor form always looks something like this, with the symbol and number corresponding to what it has to be in your diamond method. So that it multiplies to this and adds to this.
Can you do the one that is fun? Which one? 5.
Okay. So zero product property says what? Do both of them have to be 0 to give me 0?
No, that's one.
Okay, so then don't pick the one that says both. Does it say neither of them can equal 0? Can either of them be 0? Yeah. So then it should get out. Yes. Any other questions on anything? Yes. Okay, so if it equals 0, I have two things multiplied together and it equals 0. What's the rule? If I have two things that multiply to give me 0, one of them must be 0. And it just so happens that it's like different sets of parentheses. So what you do, knowing that rule, is you set each factor, each thing being multiplied, equal to 0 and solve them separately for us. Because it could be either one that is 0, that makes the whole thing into 0 when you multiply. You could guess and check, sometimes that's even easier, or just do like your inverse operation, sometimes it's a two-step equation. So what, 7 minus what gives me 0? No. 7 minus -7 would be 14, not 0. So 7 minus what gives me 0? Yes, okay. So one of them is 7. Over here, what plus 4 gives me 0? So then the other one has to be -1. If that's not clear to you, the guess and check, then do your inverse operation. Subtract 4 on each side, x equals -4. From here, subtract 7 on each side. Divide -1 on each side, x equals 7. Okay. So 7 and -4. Right, other questions? Any from the coloring activity? You only need to turn it in if you do more, otherwise the grade that's on your paper will stay. And I will give you another time, but any other questions? Even if I did, I would not share it.